Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith in the Black, and we got the SPY doing this. Coming in a little bit here, we got, let's shrink this down for you. And SPY goes outside day, then two down, and then another outside day. So looking at this broadening formation to start off, but anytime you go out near the lows, you're going to look bad. So potentially you could pop up the inside day, stuff like that, because you're still on the month not really doing too much here. You can see that, but we can see if they can get something going here by pulling back through this try like so. If we go to QQQ, see a little bit worse coming back through here on that. So if we go to the weekly, closer to taking out that weekly low and going two up, two down, and coming back through all this kind of stuff. So you can keep an eye on that. But in general, still pretty mellow. So it's still green on the month. It's still a two up. So we just want to be aware of that. But much closer to the next two being to the downside. If we go to Apple, and Apple, middle of the range week, so we know that we have the inside quarter to the upside and just coming back in with a little bit in with the market. So would still have to on the monthly still break green on the month and quarter and up, but looking at that weekly, you got to take out either side of that somehow. If we go to small cappers a little worse, but if you go to the monthly here, you're seeing two down on the month, back down through here. So small cappers actually a little bit worse. You've got TLT here, TLT on the month, two up. Weekly here, trying to go hammer counter shooter TLT bonds. If you go to VXX, you'll see this in VXX. Not quite an inside week, but starting to warm up a little, heat up just a tad, but still not the end of the world just yet on the monthly, so you can see that. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, and Diamonds back to doji on the month, so didn't quite make those new highs that we were looking for here. So, and closer going shooter back down off the hammer. So we'll see how that goes. You have IBM in there that's still RevStrat month to the downside, so you can keep an eye on all that. And of course, there's Boeing with a lot of the pandemic names backing off here, so you can keep an eye on that. If you go to the transports, once again, the transports on the monthly, these 3 months, right? It's a 2-2 quarter, the downside below here, that 254.65. You're back there. That's going to be a lot of the airlines still, American, United, all your across the board there. What they are doing is the defensive posture by going into XLU, and so it's not like totally blasting, still an inside month, but you can see here on the daily, if you take this out, certainly rotating into the utilities, that we know, and there's your broadening formation there, XLP. Also, to a certain extent, that's going to be your Proctors and your Cokes and all that kind of stuff. Do have earnings coming out and a lot of this stuff this week, so be aware of that. If you go to XLF Financials, and the financials here, monthly, still handling inside month potential 3-1 there in XLF and FAS, but getting a little weaker. So if you go to like JP Morgan, here, still inside months, just be aware of that. If you go to the weekly, here, trying to go shooter counters hammer off of that. Goldman Sachs is shooter counters hammer, and Morgan Stanley would be RevStrat to the downside, so you can keep an eye on that kind of stuff. Over there, if you go to energy, XLE, still lagging, and these monthlies here also 2 months to the downside in XLE, OIH here, and so still having some problems here as the energy is still heavy as well. And if we go over there, you're going to have your Chevron here, taking the inside month to the downside. Exxon here, trying to take that 2 down in the month. PXD here, inside month and down, so you can watch all your fun stuff. LPI is a good one to watch. You can see this range on this baby. Look at that. This thing's moving around a bit. So if you want something good to trade, it'd be LPI. Look at this. Oh boy. Take some heat out of that. If we go to Slob, and once again, you're seeing all these energies taking out last month's lows. Schlumberger, Halliburton. So they got some problems over there. If we go to retail, you got Costco here, just going straight back into the high. So you got some exhaustion risk. We'll see if we can go take this stuff out up into here. Target, Still skirting the highs, and just a little quiet though, and coming in here a bit. Not too much going on over there in Walmart. Here, Walmart on the month. Here, still trying to take this out. So Walmart on the month, you want to be over 142.80 to get that thing going. We'll see how that goes. Not going too much going on in IBB, so we'll let that go. If you go to the semis, SMH going for the outside month after last week. Coming in outside weaker here, so SMH having some issues here, so we might want to keep an eye on that. XLK still with the Microsoft and the Apple. Okay, but it's closer to that 2-2 weaker to the downside, so you can keep an eye on that Microsoft over there to see here. Still doing all right. Like I said, Apple and Microsoft heavily weighted over there, and not near really taking out last week's low, so they're pretty good over there. If you go to Facebook, and Facebook starting to come in a little bit off exhaustion risk on the highs, and Amazon still fine, but backing off. You can see in the middle of the month now, and if you go to the week, here it goes up here, so potential compound 3 to come down here and take all this kind of stuff out down in there. Netflix outside weaker, so we'll see if they can go 3-2 back down and bring that in. So got a little heavy here at the end of the week. You can see that. Now let's see if we can take all these guys out. If we go to Google, and Google's still all right, just daily, just still, exhaustion risk kind of hanging out near the highs, so we'll see what comes with that. Not much. NVIDIA started to come in. That was nice last week. The 2-2 week reversal coming back through previous range. So potentially now, if they really want to clock this thing, you get the potential outside month, so I'd keep an eye on that with SMH for sure. If you go SWKS, here, not doing too much on the month, but potential RevStrat week here, so you can keep an eye on that. And not going to waste too much time. We got a lot of earnings to keep an eye on, so definitely do that. And here's your Teslers, just chopping around in here, not doing too much. If you go to the month, you're going to see this. Inside month slightly pokes up, so potential outside month, but just keep an eye on that. We got earnings coming up in another week from Monday. You got an inside day to start off in Tesla, so keep an eye on those earnings. I am out next week, and I will be back for the Tesla earnings day. So everybody have a good week, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, I'm Rob Smith. This is Smith in the Black.